Nice little lump of a boy, always trailing after Sirius Black.
I remember him. Never let James and Sirius out of his sight. But what happened?
Well, Peter Pettigrew tried to warn the Potters and might have managed to had he not run into an old friend, Sirius Black.
Black was vicious. He didn't kill Pettigrew. He destroyed him.
Hello and welcome to Harry Potter, the official film podcast, as we look back at the film series one at a time. I'm Rhianna Dhillon, lifelong Harry Potter superfan, film critic and a proud Slytherin. And the only thing that tea leaves at the bottom of a cup will tell me is that it's time for a biscuit. We're making our way through the entire series and you can watch every film along with us on HBO Max. Today, we're talking about the second half of the third film in the series, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Here with me to share their love for all things Harry Potter, it's the hippo to my griff, entertainment journalist and filmmaker, it's Law Sharma. Hi,
Hello.
Law. Hi.
That's for you.
I will bow back.
Oh, thank you so much.
For listeners of the podcast, Law just bowed to me.
Yes.
It's a very visual joke.
Yes. I forgot about that part.
How are you feeling about going into the second half of Prisoner of Azkaban?
I am pumped.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the way that this film progresses from this point. I am very excited to get into the nitty-gritty of it all.
And there is a lot of nitty-gritty to get into. So, returning to where we left off, we find Harry up quite late in bed with the Marauders map, snacking. He's a man after my own heart. And he sees something quite peculiar. Peter Pettigrew walking down the halls of Hogwarts at night. The lad that everybody thinks has been blown to pieces does not appear to be dead. Harry, obviously being Harry, goes to investigate, and Harry being Harry immediately gets caught. That's just the way of things. That's how it goes. He never learns.
Mischief managed. Knox.
Potter, what are you doing wandering the corridors at night?
I was sleepwalking.
How extraordinarily like your father you are, Potter. He too was exceedingly arrogant, strutting about the castle.
My dad didn't strut. And nor do I. Now, if you don't mind, I would appreciate it if you could lower your wand.
Does Harry ever go on a midnight wandering without getting caught?
I mean, no,
Can
not
you
at
think of
Hogwarts.
a single example?
No.
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 Maybe stop doing that. Snape attempts to confiscate the map, but luckily Harry's new BFF Professor Lupin steps in, diffuses the situation, I feel like he's got history there, pockets the map, and then gives Harry the most disappointed teacher lecture in history. Your parents died for you, please stop wandering around the school at midnight when a known murderer is on the loose. It's elementary.
I want you to return to your dormitory and stay there. And don't take any detours. If you do, I shall know.
Professor, just so you know, I don't think that map always works. Earlier on, it showed someone in the castle. Someone I know to be dead.
Oh, really? And who might that be?
Peter Pettigrew.
That's not possible.
Lupin looks appropriately freaked out and things are about to get even weirder. This is the conclusion of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Are you excited to dive in?
Yeah, I've done my waiting. You know?
You are such a Prisoner of Azkaban nerd. I love it.
You guys get it. We get it.
So back in divination, Hermione arrives late again and does the unthinkable. She's rude to a teacher.
Crazy.
I mean, it is Professor Trelawney, so I think we're using the word teacher loosely here. And she's promptly told that she lacks divination vibes. After Hermione storms out, Trelawney slips into full prophecy mode, directed at Harry. Betrayal, murder, innocent blood spilt, servant and master reunited, etc., etc. What do you love about Trelawney generally as a character, and why is Emma Thompson so good in this role?
I mean, I think that's what I love about it, is that it's Emma Thompson kind of just having the time of her life with this character. Yeah. I really love how eccentric she is. And I think what's really cool about the way that she handles the character is that you are like kind of on Hermione's side. It's like, who is this woman? Why is she in charge of teaching these kids this like possibly useless class?
Yeah.
And then when the prophecy happens, then you start to believe in her power.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, maybe she is seeing things. And then she immediately snaps into the
yes.
And she's back into being this like
Dippy.
kind of aloof, like hippy dippy teacher. And I love that. It's just because it kind of like with Lupin at the beginning, you almost don't know if he's gonna be good or bad. You don't know if they're an expert or kind of a loser.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And we've had frauds in the Harry Potter world before in the teachers department, right?
Just literally last year, right? So I do love it. I love her styling, and I just think Emma Thompson's so good. And I know Emma Watson loved being her scene partner in that. So to see her so mad at her in that, I was just like, oh, you really be acting. You know what I mean?
I think that's what's so great about the fact that they have like the cream of the crop when it comes to British talent, because also so many of them have come from theatre. We talked about that with Kenneth Branagh last time. Emma Thompson again. Everything is so theatrical, and she's also like, it's not so extreme that you don't recognize that person. Like you might have like an aunt who's always trying to like read your palm.
One. I've got a few. I'm just kidding.
I actually don't have that, but I do. I do definitely know people like that. So I feel like these are people who are relatable. We know them, and we also know how irritating it can be when somebody keeps trying to tell you your fortune, and you're like, I don't believe in this. This is, and somebody like grabbing your hand or your cup of tea, or like looking into your eyes and telling you that you don't have the vibes, you don't have the aura, you're a mess. Somebody like that telling Hermione?
Yeah, that's gotta feel.
That's gotta hurt.
That's gotta sting. Yeah, I'd be upset too.
I would be cross. Okay, back outside, the countdown to Buckbeak's execution is on. Draco, this is such a throwaway line in the film. Draco brags about keeping the hippogriff's head. So Hermione responds with one perfectly placed punch.
Yes.
Total icon behavior.
Love it.
Emma Watson is at her peak. Like, she's having fun with this scene. It's so nice to see Hermione, like, let go of the controls a little bit.
Yeah.
And just react.
Totally.
Draco is shocked.
Yeah.
To say the least. How do you think this sort of like furthers Draco and Hermione as characters?
I mean, in this movie in general, you're starting to see Hermione take shape into kind of the like that leadership quality that she's always had. I mean, I love that moment. I love, like, I called Draco a little punchable in our last episode.
You did.
And, you know, like, came to fruition. I'm happy about it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Back at Hagrid's hut, emotions are running high. Scabbers mysteriously reappears very much alive, just as Cornelius Fudge, Dumbledore, and Executioner McNair arrives, because that get up with the mask and the hood, that's not creepy or anything.
No.
As the axe swings, Scabbers bites Ron and bolts straight for the Whomping Willow. Then a huge black dog appears. Hello, Grim, my old friend, and drags Ron underground. Harry and Hermione get whomped by the willow, but manage to tumble into the secret passage below the tree. They emerge in the Shrieking Shack and discover Sirius Black. Again, a great reveal with the paw prints.
So good.
Like, straight off the bat, we know.
Yeah.
We know what's happened here.
Absolutely.
Hermione tries to defend Harry, Lupin arrives, disarms Harry, hugs Sirius, the truth spills over, Lupin is a werewolf, Sirius is an animagus, and Harry's godfather, and Scabbers is actually Peter Pettigrew, the childhood friend who was the real traitor all along.
It's a lot. And the Shrieking Shack got people shrieking for a reason.
There is so much to unpack.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's such a great story.
Yes.
Moment. When the reveal happens, obviously you start panicking because they start pointing fingers and being a little bit more intentional with like, we're gonna kill that guy.
Yeah, pointing fingers and wands.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's such a cool scene, and Gary Oldman is in top form in that scene.
Yeah.
Like, that's the big acting moment for him, for me, for a pretty understated performance outside of the Wanted poster. Like, that is the moment that really stands out for me.
And then the roller coaster of finding out that not only is Peter Pettigrew alive, but he's a rat and he's been with them this whole time.
He's been sleeping in the burrow for 12 years.
He's been sleeping in Ron's bed for 12 years.
That's a grown man. Yeah.
But to be fair, in rat form, do you think that he actually knows what's going on?
He must. Like, he has awareness. Like, even before they go into the Whomping Willow or underneath, he's biting Ron to get away.
Yeah.
Like, he's fully aware. I do think what the film does really interestingly, though, is they gave him so many rat-like qualities when he comes out of the animagus form because he's been a rat for so long, you know? So he, I'm doing a lot of faces.
That was a good phase.
Thank you so much.
I feel like if you're a listener to the podcast, you're missing out.
You got to tune in to the visual aspect. But I don't know. I do think he knows what's going on and he's too much of a coward to, stand up for himself to do his job right. You know, like he has a task at hand.
What's the task?
To work for the Dark Lord.
So to kill Harry.
To kill Harry.
That's not on his brain.
No.
He just wants to eat and hang.
Do you think when he's smaller, his brain gets smaller? His brain power gets smaller?
I think he just encompasses all of like rat-like qualities. And I guess, and we know that Scabbers is kind of lazy.
Yeah.
And so all he does is just like sleep and eat. And that's literally it.
It's crazy that he's a Gryffindor.
I know.
Like as a Gryffindor, I do not claim him.
I've never quite gotten over that. And you wonder but I guess that comes into that whole thing about choices.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that you might be like ambitious or cunning, or it doesn't matter that you could be loyal, you could be brave. If, just take like the wrong turn down one of those paths and boom, you are a murderer.
Yeah. Imagine that. One wrong turn.
Then Snape shows up, gets the wrong end of the stick, is disarmed by Harry. Classic Expelliarmus.
Classic Harry Potter.
Classic Harry Potter. I bet Snape really regrets teaching him that one. And Lupin and Sirius want to avenge Lily and James by killing Pettigrew. But Harry chooses justice instead, which is also classic Harry Potter.
Classic Harry Potter. Very noble.
And the group takes Pettigrew captive to turn him in. As they walk out from underneath the Whomping Willow, Harry gets one glorious, heart-wrenching moment where he believes that he could have a different future with Sirius as a father figure. But when they emerge, the clouds shift, the full moon hits, and Lupin transforms, unable to resist his werewolf instincts. Sirius transforms too, and Dog Sirius tries to fight off Wolf Lupin to protect the others. Pettigrew takes advantage of the chaos and turns back into Scabbers, escaping into the night. Phew!
Yeah.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah,
there is so much going on.
Big, small, big, small.
In such a short amount of time. Big, small, big, small. Lupin's transformation is pretty grotesque.
I love it, though. I think werewolf transformations are some of the coolest things you can do on film. And this one is so obviously inspired by American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
And, what they did here is, it's like that body horror that you don't necessarily see that often. So when like bones are cracking and lengthening and bloating, like a lot of actually David Thewlis was in practical effects for like the back expanding, or like they tried to put him on stilts and it just didn't really work. There was like a makeup process that they worked out. Eventually the character becomes CGI, obviously a fully CGI werewolf, but all that transformation stuff, they found ways to do practical specific shots so that you could see the bloating, you could see like the transformation.
That's
and
amazing.
it's just like a callback to like the old school filmmaking stuff.
When CGI didn't exist in the same way.
And I love it.
You feel the agony that Professor Lupin is going through. And I think that's sort of almost exemplified by Sirius trying to talk him almost like off the ledge of being like, Lupin, you're in there. I know you can hear me.
This heart is where you truly live. This heart here. Yeah?
That was really good.
Thank you.
How
Thank
many
you so
times
much.
have you done that?
I don't know. I didn't even get to do my 12 years in Azkaban bit. I will scream it if you let me. That said, let me just say.
We are on mic and we do have people listening with headphones on.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll back away from that.
So Sirius is injured in the scuffle. Harry follows him to the lake where Dementors swarm, and just as it seems like all hope is lost and their souls are being ripped from their bodies, a powerful Patronus appears from across the water to drive the Dementors back. Sirius is captured. Harry wakes up in the hospital wing along with Hermione and an incapacitated Ron. Dumbledore pops in. I feel like pops in is the exact word for what he does.
100%.
He's just like, I'm also here. He listens to their story, actually believes them despite the outlandish nature of it all, and wise as ever, he nudges Harry and Hermione to retrace their steps. Hermione pulls out a peculiar necklace and spins it 3 times. The night rewinds. Suddenly, it's the previous afternoon again. Hermione reveals she's been time traveling all year in order to have enough time to attend her many classes. Ron was right to be suspicious.
I mean, it's so funny that they entrusted this power to this student, and all she does with it is study more.
It's so Hermione.
It's such a good little character thing for her. Yeah.
What would you use a time turner for?
Oh, you don't want to ask me that. Yeah, probably not great things. Fixing small mistakes, seeing myself in the past and like trying to give myself advice. It would be a mess. I think I am the number one person who shouldn't have time travel as a power.
You're the reason these laws exist.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to the Ministry of Magic and I'm staying in jail because of, I'm going to Azkaban is what's happening with me and a time turner. What about you? I'm curious.
Is it too nerdy to be like, go back to the beginning of Harry Potter and like do it all again from the beginning?
Not for this podcast. That's a perfect plan.
This is something that I think you only catch on like a multiple rewatch, but when they actually have the time turner scene, have you ever noticed that there's a student being like unmummified in the background?
Yes.
Or mummified. I can't remember which round it goes.
You know what's so cool about that? It's kind of like the night bus scene, but they shoot different plates for it. So they're shooting like slower frame rates of all the action happening in the back. And then the front is just like a normal shot of Emma and Daniel.
Yeah.
And then they composite that plate later, you know? And I think that's so cool that it's like a through line in the filmmaking techniques. It's like, hey.
It worked the first time.
Yeah, look at us go now. But I do like that detail because it's like, you know, you just see him spinning.
Why is there a mummified student in the hospital wing?
So many
questions.
So many questions. But people are like losing bones and, you know, stuff happens at Hogwarts. It's very dangerous.
Together, Harry and Hermione move through the past unseen-ish as they attempt to correct where they went wrong, saving Buckbeak, racing through the forest and watching events spiral again. And yeah, Hermione, your hair really does look like that from the back, babes. Harry tells Hermione that he believes the spirit of his dad conjured the Patronus that saved him and Sirius at the lake. And just as they're sharing quite a sweet moment, they're interrupted when their past selves emerge from the roots of the Whomping Willow, and the fight between Wolf Lupin and Dog Sirius is underway yet again. As the Dementors descend, Harry waits across the lake for his father James to appear and save the day. When he doesn't, Harry realises the truth. He's the one who cast the spell. Law, do you want to do the honours?
I couldn't possibly do that. Expecto Patronum!
Oh my goodness.
Did you see the Black Swan? Pretty good. Pretty good.
Harry steps forward, conjures a spectacular Patronus. His is a stag, of course, to save his past self and Sirius. Okay, it's so emotional watching Harry conjure his Patronus and realising that it's his dad.
Mm-hmm.
And also that he had it within him all along as well.
Yeah.
It's just, there is so much emotion in this scene, and it feels like, I don't know, that sometimes that gets lost in amongst the effects, the fights, like all of these big reveals. But how do you think this furthers Harry's story?
I mean, first of all, it confirms something that we all kind of like know about this character is that he is incredibly powerful for one reason or another.
Yes.
Harry has power within him. And it also is like really validating to not only see the stag form, but to know that there's like some kind of connection to his history with his father in that form itself. And from that moment, Harry just becomes a little bit more of like a efficient wizard. I feel like he's just getting used to things.
Yeah.
Like we joke about his Expelliarmus like always being what he blasts off.
Yeah.
But like he's capable of so much more. And the Patronus charm really shows that.
As before, Sirius is taken away, only this time Harry and Hermione are able to get to the tower to break him free, but not before some lovely godparent bonding. Sirius explains that the ones that love us never really leave us, and with that, Buckbeak carries him off into the night. Harry and Hermione race back to the hospital wing to rejoin their present timeline just as their past selves fade away. So we get a really brilliant kind of meaty performance from Gary Oldman as Sirius, as discussed. We also get a lot of him in a very short space of time. Although his presence, his name, the character is hanging over the entire film, we only really get to hang out with him a little bit, like in the walk from the Whomping Willow, in the Shrieking Shack, but he's kind of got other things on his mind. And then this bonding moment that he has with Harry. And it's like all of the potential of their relationship, all that's been lost as well in the years that he's been in Azkaban. I don't think I'll ever get over the moment of Harry sort of envisioning a life with Sirius underneath the sky so that he doesn't feel trapped and imprisoned as he would have done in Azkaban. And oh my God, it makes me so emotional thinking about Harry. Oh my God, actually, I'm going to cry. Harry as a 13-year-old boy who, you know, they're not normally so in touch with their feelings, to have that level of empathy for an older person when he's obviously been through so much himself, was also kind of imprisoned in a cupboard under the stairs. Yeah. I just find like the growth of Harry through Sirius in this just stunning writing.
I do think Gary Oldman does a fantastic job, not only playing this like sinister version of Sirius that we think he is, but the transitioning to this loving, kind of just like amazing presence in not only Harry's life, but the movies as a whole. Yeah. Like he has made this franchise better by being Sirius Black, in my opinion.
Yes.
And that little moment was like the ones who love us would never truly leave us.
Yeah.
Like I was rewatching it and I still get filled with hope and a little bit of melancholy. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just because
it's not about magic. That's not about magic. That's about grief. And it's about love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which we all have within us.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Oh, it's just wonderful. This film is so wonderful. By morning, Lupin resigns, but not before a final pep talk for Harry, where he returns the Marauders map with a gentle mischief managed. Yes. As the year closes, Harry receives the best present ever from Sirius. Now, this is where, like, the 13-year-old boy really emerges again.
Yeah, totally.
A firebolt broom, launching himself into the sky with a smile. We have finally come to the end of Prisoner of Azkaban.
Crazy.
Again, any standout scenes, moments that we haven't yet discussed? Any details which really grabbed you on a rewatch?
Seeing, like, Dan and Emma do their thing together, like as like their own little duo, because you know Hermione gets sidelined quite a bit in the chamber, and so to see her not only standing up for herself but kind of leading the charge, like Harry's a little aloof for most of that.
He doesn't really know what's going on.
Yeah, and like, she's locked in. She's like, this is the time that we have. Let's do it. Can't believe my hair looks like that. Yeah, you know, but she's in the moment. You know what I mean? And I do love that about that character.
Can we have a shout out as well to, again, this like the filmmaking brilliance of Quaron, of the Whomping Willow scene when Hermione is flying around, she grabs onto Harry, and you just have that almost like freeze frame of him, and you know, like if this was like another film, it'd be like a record scratch and him being like,
yeah, it's like a Looney Tunes
how did
thing.
I
like
I bet you're wondering how I got here before he's like whisked off by the tree. And it's just, again, like a moment of pure comedy filmmaking coming into like not a series that isn't funny, but like it's like a real intentional moment of comedy.
I love this movie.
In case you couldn't tell, we love this movie. Is there anything else about Quaron's like specificity that you think is so unique to his vision that stands out?
I think for me, what was really apparent in the rewatch was his use of like moving through glass, shooting reflections, whether that's glass or the water when he's riding Buckbeak, or even like looking through the invisibility cloak in the point of view shot when we're in the Three Broomsticks where he finds his secret. I feel like every time there's a significant moment that goes through glass or has a reflection, Harry is learning something new about his history or a technique or something, because like the Hippogriff scene, that's him experiencing this sense of adventure for the first time, his first time on a Hippogriff. But like he's learning a lot of information, whether it's like a reflection during the Dementor scene, we're like going through glass and we're seeing the Dementor, it's a little skewed, and then it becomes fully realized. Same thing when he's like staring at the kids. He's like, I'm not gonna wait to go to Hogsmeade. I'm going right now. And you see that glass movement. The boggart, like that's something that he's learning about who he is, what his history is. And it's always through like this veil. And I think that's really interesting.
Oh, wow.
And so I don't really know if that's something that was intentional, but whenever I see like glass or water or a reflection in my head as an audience member, having seen this film, I'm like, oh, Harry's about to get new information or take a new step or advance his journey in some way. And so I would encourage people to watch it with that in mind.
That's really nice, because I think the only time that I really noticed that was in the Leaky Cauldron in the first half of the film, when Harry's staying there and we see the camera like go through the window, and it's kind of like that Citizen Kane shot, which was obviously so famous for like its breaking the rules techniques and everything that it did. And I feel like Cuarón is definitely paying tribute to some of his favorite movies in Prisoner of Azkaban. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, this film works on so many levels. If you're just generally a movie fan, this film works on so many levels.
Seriously, watch how the camera moves. It's like it's nonsensical sometimes. Like even the first shot, the Lumos shot, goes through a window.
It does.
And it just continues, that motif continues. And so that's why I started thinking, why? And I think that's my reasoning, is that something's about to happen. Whether you're blowing up your aunt or getting haunted by Dementors, something's coming, Harry.
Some great insights from
Something
Law.
wicked this way comes.
I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
Messrs. Mooney, Wormtail, Padfoot and Prongs are proud to present the Marauders map.
We owe them so much.
Hang on. This is Hogwarts. And that... no. Is that really...
Dumbledore, in his study, pacing, does that a lot.
So you mean this map shows...
Everyone.
everyone?
Everyone. Where they are, what they're doing, every minute of every day.
Brilliant. Where'd you get it?
Nicked it from Filch's office, of course. First year. Now listen, there are 7 secret passageways out of the castle. We'd recommend this one.
The one-eyed witch passageway.
It'll lead you straight to Honeyduke's cellar.
But you best hurry. Filch is heading this way.
Oh, and Harry, don't forget, when you're done, just give it a tap and say, Mischief managed. Otherwise anyone can read it.
So the Marauders map, as we've discussed, is just one of the most iconic pieces of lore to come out of Harry Potter generally. So we are required to talk all things Marauders. When you first heard that James, Sirius, Lupin, Pettigrew and Snape were at school together, were you just like, wait, what?
I mean, it's such an interesting reveal, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of gives context to like maybe why Snape wasn't so nice to Harry, right? But it's also like 3 out of 4 of those dudes in the Marauders are really cool to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to think about their younger years. And I do think that's something I wish I could see explored more, especially in this series. It would have been really cool to see a young Snape, James, Remus. I want to see that. Because I think the Marauders, like we know from the books, had such like a camaraderie to each other.
Yeah.
And like the fact that, James became an animagus so he could be with Lupin when he turns. Like, what a beautiful thing for a friend to do. You know
they
what I mean?
all did. All three of them did that.
Yeah. And so
even Peter.
Don't try to endear Pettigrew to me.
I'm not. I'm just saying that if you're going to say that James was so sweet for doing that, Peter Pettigrew also did that.
Yeah.
I do sometimes think when I read about the Marauders that I would have found them absolutely unbearable at school.
Really?
Yes.
Why? Because they're like the jocks of the school?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
I think I would have hated them, honestly, because they do all seem really arrogant and 100% they strutted around the school.
Yeah.
And I do think, and this is kind of explored later, but I do think that they have an arrogance that Fred and George don't have.
Yeah.
I think Fred and George are actually like pretty well-rounded
They're a little
individuals.
altruistic with their chaos.
They're not spoiled.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. Because in the Weasley household you can't be.
Totally.
Whereas I feel like James comes from a very privileged, rich background. Sirius, privileged, yes, but maybe quite a lonely one. The only Gryffindor in his family. Peter, we never find out about his backstory. And Lupin obviously has had this blight on him since he was a child.
Yeah.
But we don't know much about him either. How do you think they compare? Because we see so many trios. We don't really see that many quartets.
That's true.
So we have obviously the Golden Trio, but we also have Draco and Crabbe and Goyle.
Yeah.
So how do you think they compare in terms of like the tightness, the kind of the cliquiness?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think the Marauders are quite diverse in terms of personality, But then you look at like Harry, Ron, Hermione,
Yeah.
and they're quite different
They are.
themselves. Then Crabbe, Goyle, and Draco, it's like leader and two minions
Grunts.
almost.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like they're a little homogenous to me. The Marauders have like a little bit more variety. And I like that they're all so skilled that they have like this extra level of
Yeah.
ability that maybe other young wizards didn't have at the time. So I think it also shows that they were pretty clever and pretty bright.
Yeah. Are they like the cleverest of their generation? Because you know Sirius has that parting shot to Hermione.
Yeah.
You really are the brightest witch of your age.
Yes, which I love.
Yeah. And that obviously becomes a massive moniker for her.
Mhm.
Do you think that he was?
It's hard to say because I don't want to say yes, they were the brightest and then disregard someone like Lily, who is supposed to be really good at transfiguration.
You
know
just
what I
gave
mean?
me chills.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then there's Snape. Like, spoiler alert, he's not
He's
Half-Blood
pretty
Prince.
clever, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's clever.
pretty potions genius, yeah.
So I do think in the perspective of like popularity, people might see them and be like, those are the all-stars.
Yes.
But then when you go big
Scratch the
picture
surface,
and you
yeah.
start thinking about expertise,
Mhm.
there are lights everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, little Lumos here, here. They're brightening up.
But they still got to be animagi.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot.
Yes.
A lot of work. And also you have to like hold something in your mouth for like a month.
Yeah. I mean,
You're like, sure.
probably could figure it out. We got a lot of room up here. Yeah.
But also I feel like they kind of talk about how Peter was like the rubbish one.
Yeah.
He was able to become an animagi. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Maybe we're giving McGonagall too much credit.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's interesting. Animagi, you know, like the idea that you can't really choose your animal.
Yeah.
What do you think you'd
What
be?
do you think I'd be? Wait, so do you think it like reflects, because also what are the qualities of a stag?
Noble.
Uh-huh. I feel like they're quite aloof.
Yeah.
But I don't think James is.
Hmm.
But they're pack animals. They
Yeah.
move in herds, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do dogs. So yeah, maybe these are all kind of pack animals. Do you
Maybe
think you're
you'll
more
be
of
the bunny. You have bunnies.
I do have bunnies.
Maybe that'll be it.
Yeah, I'm not as rude as a bunny. I'm not just focused on food.
Can I just say, I hope I'm a sea turtle? Oh, that's not really helpful, actually. I'm going to take that back. Emotional whiplash. We've been talking about it.
I think bird. I think absolutely. I mean, you'd want to be a bird,
Yeah,
right?
you'd want to. Unless you're bio-womping Willow, you would want to be a bird.
That's true.
Just like fly around.
What do you think?
For me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like a little fox. Something clever, small, and fast.
I think a lion.
Oh, I'll take it. I got a lion ring on
And
right
I
now.
don't know if it's because of the Gryffindor thing, but I do feel like you've been talking about like leadership qualities and you say that you're drawn to that, but also, I don't know, I've heard you in conversations.
Okay.
I feel like people would follow you. I feel like you're good in a pack. You're well groomed.
Thank you so much.
Trying to think of like other lion qualities.
Take a clip of that, send it to my mom so she knows I'm doing okay.
Obviously McGonagall is a cat and I feel like she does have very cat-like qualities. But also later on we find out that Rita Skeeter, it becomes a beetle. But also I feel like did she really not choose that form? Because it is so perfect for what she needs it to be.
Yes.
What if she'd like done it and turned into an elephant?
Then she couldn't be a sneaky reporter.
Right, that's true.
You know? Talk about the elephant in the room.
Hey. Okay, it is time for Outpost. I love this bit. We have a burning question from Evilly on Instagram. Did Lupin see time-travelling Harry and Hermione on the Marauders map when he was looking for them during the time of Buckbeak's execution? Because he said he saw Harry, Ron and Hermione going in and out of Hagrid's hut, but at the same time they were time-travelling. Future Harry and Hermione were hiding somewhere else in the forest?
Huh. Evilly. I've never thought of that before.
This is like blown my tiny mind. So I feel like with that meme of like all of the maths.
This is the problem with time
equations
travel.
coming out.
There's too many
Yes.
paradoxes and stuff. There's different versions of time travel.
But I feel like if the map shows absolutely everybody
Yeah.
at Hogwarts, it would have shown two lots of Harry and Hermione.
Right.
They would be on there, but is Lupin seeing both of them? Because once he's seen that Harry and Hermione are at Hagrid's hut, for example,
Right.
why would he then be looking in the forest for them again?
Does this even show the forest? Does it extend to?
In your hand. Oh my God, it's enormous.
See, I'm not seeing forest.
I didn't see forest. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's the Whomping Willow.
Okay. So essentially he would see, I don't know, Evilly, I'm stumped.
That is a great question. But also, do you think Lupin would know what was going on? Would he be questioning it? Would he just be like, this is probably Dumbledore up to his old tricks again?
That's kind of how I assume everyone operates when they're friends with Dumbledore. It's just like,
he's at it again.
That's just kind of like gotta trust the process sometimes. You know what I mean?
If you want to stump us some more, then please do send us your burning questions. Or if you have a hot take, you can send that in as well. Look out for your chance on socials at Harry Potter. So in Prisoner of Azkaban, obviously we do some actual time traveling, but we also find out so much more about the past. How do you think that Harry, receiving the Marauders map, which obviously he doesn't know initially is from his dad, but eventually does, and of course the invisibility cloak, how do you think that helps him form a connection, not only with his dad, but also with his dad's generation? How do you see that emotional through line represented in those items?
Yeah, I think Harry has been reminded ever since he kind of joined the wizarding world that he's a lot like his parents, and sometimes that's derogatory, right? Even the way that Snape talks to him. But it's cool to have physical manifestations of these people in his life, you know, a reminder of James, the invisibility cloak is a huge part of what Harry's journey ends up being, you know, it makes maybe his love for his parents or that yearning for his parents feel even more real and grounded. They're not some mythic thing. These were real people that had real emotions and real impact on others. It is cool to see those connections for someone who has been so disconnected from this world as a whole.
Yeah. I really love the bit where Snape catches Harry in the corridor and he kind of talks about him strutting around the school just like his father. And Harry's like, my father didn't strut. He actually has no idea whether or not his dad did strut. And we know that actually James was a strutter. He was a peacock.
Yeah.
He loved showing off. He loved kind of drawing attention. But also Harry is kind of the antithesis of that, right?
100%. Yeah. I don't think he wants the attention.
No.
He doesn't want the fame. He just so happened to be burdened with it, you know?
I always felt so sad that Lily is kind of barely mentioned in these moments. And of course she has her own life. And it's not until I think the Half-Blood Prince where we find out more of Lily's story and about how maybe Harry is more like Lily in certain regards.
Yeah.
That felt like two halves of a puzzle finally coming together, because I think you really feel that loss. And I think it's because, you know, we're talking about a boy who literally physically resembles his father. And so that's a kind of very natural thing to talk about other qualities that they have in common. And of course, the mischievous nature of Harry, the fact that he does like to break rules any chance he gets. And he does know the school inside out by the end of, by the Battle of Hogwarts. That becomes a real boon for him.
Yeah.
And he knows a lot of the school secrets. And the idea is that James did as well, right? That he, Fred and George, knows all of the secret corridors. They're always sneaking out of bed at night. That's just what they did. But then with Lily, it's always about, you have your mother's eyes. And that's kind of the end of it. So I really love that kind of then comes full circle later on in the series. And we find out more about her, what she's given to Harry.
To that point, I think this is really interesting. It's because we talked about the bridge scene in our last episode, but in that moment, Lupin's not really talking about James. He's talking about Lily that whole time. And I think there's something really poetic about the fact that everyone says you look like your father, but you have your mother's eyes. Eyes are the portal to the soul. So maybe what makes Harry great is what they see inside of that soul. You know what I mean? And physically he might be this troublemaker or whatever, but in the eyes, he has that kindness that makes him heroic, that makes him compassionate, that makes him like Lily. And I love that. Yeah.
God. And he is the one that does the same thing that Lily does. Yeah. Sacrifices himself.
He's noble.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's a classic Harry Potter.
How many times are you going to try to make me cry in this podcast?
Hermione, wait! Hermione, will you please tell me what it is we're doing?
Come and see the show.
You foul, loathsome, evil little cockroach!
That's us.
Hermione, no! It's not worth it.
This is not normal.
This is a time turner, Harry. McGonagall gave it to me first term. This is how I've been getting to my lessons all year.
You mean we've gone back in time?
Yes. Dumbledore obviously wanted us to return to this moment. Clearly something happened he wants us to change.
In Prisoner of Azkaban, the magic makers transform time into something you occupy, not just something that you jump through. So it all comes to life through amazing choreography, camera movement, props, and performance. Do you have like a favourite detail or moment through that whole time turner sequence?
Oh man, I think just first of all, the whole motif of clocks throughout the film is so great. And I love just like the sound design that is like sprinkled through the movie.
Tell us more about that.
It's just like you hear, like tick-tock of the clock through different scenes, especially when there's like foreshadowing of big moments happening.
Interesting.
But I do honestly think that Prisoner of Azkaban has some of the best time travel in cinema.
Yeah.
Like it really does pay off. And obviously it's like the type of time travel where like nothing changes, but our perspective changes. And like as an audience member, it's still like such a powerful experience, even when I know what's going to happen. So I don't know. I just love how they handled it. I love how they shot it. I love that it, like when I go back to rewatch it, I'm like looking in the background to see if I could catch, Harry and Hermione sneaking around. And I just think it's such a cool way to depict time travel and getting that task done,
I really love it when we see the characters like interacting with themselves, however sort of like obliquely. So like Hermione throwing the rock at Harry's head and then him in the present day being like, that hurt. Yeah.
So good.
It's just brilliant. And also like the whole idea of the paradox and how you can never actually work out the sequence of events. It doesn't make sense because you have to have them both there. Why does Dumbledore know? Like all of that, like that Dumbledore in that timeline shouldn't know. But he clearly does.
Yeah. More questions than answers there.
It's true. So recently I sat down with the magic makers who brought this like incredible sequence to life. And we've already spoken to him about Chamber of Secrets, but let's hear what he had to say about Prisoner of Azkaban, its special effects supervisor, John Richardson. John Richardson, great to have you back with us.
Thank you. Nice to be with you.
I wanted to ask you about the time turner sequence because obviously that's all about like repetition, but we're seeing it from different perspectives and there is a lot that goes on in that particular sequence. So how much coordination did that require from your department with all of the others to make sure that it kind of ran as smoothly as possible and looked the same each time?
All I can remember is it got terribly complicated.
I can imagine.
And I mean, we did little things like to make the time turner spin, we had a little air jet hidden up Hermione's sleeve.
So simple and so
when
great.
she held it up, the air jet made it spin.
Yeah.
And it looked as though it was spinning naturally. We did I think the clock was involved in that. And of course we had the pendulum for the clock. I'm pretty sure that was all the same sequence. But the pendulum was supposed to be 60 feet long. And we were only seeing the bottom 20 feet. So we couldn't just put it up and have it swing like that. Because it was supposed to be swinging from up there.
Right.
So we had to build a circular rig that would take the pendulum through the correct arc. So there were lots of complicated little things like that.
We talked to Nick Dodman about the creature designs and, he is such a genius when it comes to the look of so many of the amazing things that we see. Buckbeak the hippogriff feels so realistic. He was saying how he would sort of say, you have to bow to Buckbeak, and they would because that's how real he felt. When it came to the movement of Buckbeak, I imagine some was done, in CGI, but what were the practical effects needed for him?
Nick did the main creature and the sort of animatronic movements of it. What we did was when, for instance, Harry was flying on Buckbeak, we built a structure with the wings. The children could lay on the wings, and then we made the wings flap. So they used that to CGI Buckbeak underneath the kids, or the kids were then put on top. It gave the whole creature the movement and reality again that there should have been. So, I mean, throughout those films, I'd worked with Nick a number of times before, notably on a film called Willow. We knew one another really well and got on well together. And, that then transferred through to when we did the dragons on the next film. So Nick made the dragon, we made it breathe fire. In fact, it looked so good, we took the whole thing up to Leicester Square in London for the premiere and had it breathing fire outside the theatre there.
That sounds absolutely brilliant. I bet everyone loved that. Now, I wanted to ask about Alfonso Cuarón. Obviously, he comes on as a new director in Prisoner of Azkaban, and we know that he's quite interested in the practical effects of filmmaking as well, and he's also bringing with him a much darker tone. So what did all of that mean for you on set?
It was something I don't think many of us were that conscious of, because we were so busy trying to figure out how to do things. You just accept the fact that it's changed. I left those thoughts, worries and decisions to the director and the lighting cameraman, and we just followed on and did what he and the script wanted. From that point of view, it was easy. I've worked on so many films over the years, and 1 minute you're doing Robin Hood and the next minute the Battle of Britain with Spitfires flying. So that constant change, we've just all grown up to accept.
Thank you so much, John, for talking to us. It's been so brilliant and interesting to hear. I mean, you really are a magic maker.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, let's see if doubling up on classes has paid off. It's time for a bit of trivia. How are you feeling about that?
Pretty good.
Yeah, you did pretty well last time.
But I'm also always nervous when someone puts me in like an exam-like situation. I would not do well on the owls, I think.
I think you'd be fine.
Okay.
I've definitely made them harder, though.
Okay, great.
Slytherin that I am.
Well, I'm a Gryffindor, so I have the courage to take it on. How about
what
that?
we like to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is genuinely hard. The scenes featuring Hagrid's hut was shot on location. Do you know where?
In Scotland, in the mountains somewhere.
Yes.
Specifically, no. The Scottish Highlands is all I know.
I might give that to you.
Yeah?
I was going to give you multiple choice.
Okay.
But actually, I feel like I'm going to give it to you anyway.
Okay.
It was in the Highlands. It was a place called Glencoe.
Glencoe. Okay.
Yeah.
You go, Glencoe.
Oh, very good.
Very good.
All right, next one. We've seen boggarts, but can you name another magical creature that Lupin taught his class to face? Now, we don't necessarily see them in the film, but Hermione references a couple when Snape tries to start teaching them about werewolves.
Oh my God, I hear, I could see her mouth, but it's like the audio cuts out. We just started learning about blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Wow, these are a lot harder.
Well, the other ones were too easy for you.
Yeah, where's the middle ground, you guys? I feel like I'm in advanced potion class, and I barely learned what a beaker was. You're
trying to say nargles?
Nargles?
But
no,
that
wait.
is something that Luna makes up.
That is true. I don't know.
She says hinky punks.
Hinky punks.
And Kappas.
And, oh my God.
But also, they are taught about Grindylows, red caps. It could have had any magical creature.
I love this movie. I just don't know. Like little specific things like that, I guess. Ugh.
I'm going to give you one that I think you might know.
I hope so.
Which spell does Hermione use to break open Sirius's cell?
I know this one. Bombarda!
Excellent!
Thank you.
Well done.
Oh my gosh.
Such a satisfying spell as well.
That was good. And I love that it was like a quick cut.
Yeah.
And you just hear, bah!
Yeah, and it's not even like Alohomora, which could just like undoes the lock. This is like, I'm going to blow something up.
There's no swish and flick.
No.
It's just flick. You know what I mean? I like that.
And also, it's such a great spell in Hogwarts Legacy. It's one of the most satisfying ones to use because it really does blow stuff up. Do you remember which Shakespearean quote was a tagline for this movie?
Is it something wicked this way comes?
Yeah.
Straight up?
Straight up.
Straight up.
Nailed it.
Straight up.
This is a really hard one, but I spotted this after like my 15th rewatch of this film. Where does Hermione say that Sirius has been spotted when she reads it in the Daily Prophet?
Dove Town.
Oh my
Dove
God.
Town.
It's Dufftown?
Dufftown.
Yes, I will give that to you. My
Whoops.
goodness.
I remember that.
I am so impressed. 25 points to Gryffindor.
You hear that, fellas? We did it.
If Law can make it, so can you. Head to harrypotter.com if you want to test out your own trivia. And it isn't as stressful as Law made it out to be, I promise. It's my favourite bit of the podcast, the trolley full of sweets. I am going to reward any burning questions you have or any hot takes with something sweet from the trolley. So what have you got for me?
So I think my hot take is that because I am such a Ron Weasley fan, I would have liked to see some of the moments that he really shines in the book in the film as well. Like when he stands up to protect Harry and Hermione with a broken leg in the Shrieking Shack.
So brave.
Some of his really impactful lines get given to Hermione. And I just want to see him shine. I love that he's the comedic relief. And I understand it as far as like a narrative is concerned.
I guess
and,
especially this one because it's so dark that we do need that lighter side of Ron.
Yeah, totally. But like he is capable, yes, insecure, but I would have really loved to see him shine as well as be the funny guy.
Yeah.
But that being said, I love Rupert Grint. I love what he does, and I laugh every time he has a line. So
me too.
It's kind of like a lukewarm take in that sense.
I will give you a sweet for a lukewarm take. What would you like from the trolley?
I'm going to go with the Bernie Bot's Every Flavor Bean. I'm a big fan.
Good. I feel like you're a guy who loves a game of Risk.
Yes, because they're sweet and delicious, but they're also a little gross, like me.
So my one is kind of about the Whomping Willow. So I think it's so important that we find out that Lupin is the reason for the planting of the Whomping Willow. He needs to go somewhere during his school years to go and transform, and that is the Shrieking Shack. That's why it's been like thought of as being haunted for so long, because people used to hear his screams. And so they planted the Whomping Willow over the entrance to get to the Shrieking Shack so that no students would go near it. And I love that this kind of like callback, because even in the Chamber of Secrets, Snape says to the boys that, oh, you've damaged a tree that has been here before you were born.
Yeah.
And it was there from the year that Lupin arrived, and Snape has his own like issues with the tree. He nearly got killed by it in his own school year. So I just love the lore of the Whomping Willow, that it kind of follows it's another kind of generational link of like the reason it's there is because of Lupin, and how many times has it nearly killed the kids, like even in just these two films
these first
alone.
few movies, totally.
But I think everyone should know that that's the reason, that Lupin is the reason.
It's always interesting to see what gets omitted in these adaptations, because obviously you need to make the runtime work, you need to make the narrative work, but then there's like these little rich bits of history like that would have been really cool for like a general audience to understand, but then it's
doesn't move the plot on.
Exactly.
It's just a really great bit of lore.
So if you're watching, now you know. I'm
gonna help myself to some fizzing Whizbees, because I've always wanted to try these. I feel like they are gonna make my mouth go pop.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey.
And with that, trolley, be gone.
Bye-bye.
So that's Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, a film that starts with a terrifying fugitive on the loose and ends with that same fugitive on the loose.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Except this time we're happy about it.
Yeah, very happy about it.
Law, thank you so much for joining me as we retraced our steps through Prisoner of Azkaban. You've been an absolute joy.
My pleasure. I thought I would never be cheerful again until I found this podcast. Thank you guys for having me. I had so much fun.
We had so much fun having you. Next time, we're moving on to the fourth film, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Join us on our film-by-film look back through the series and rewatch every Harry Potter movie on HBO Max. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. Share your thoughts and keep up with the latest from us on social media at Harry Potter. As we make our way through the films, we'll be checking the comments to dissect your burning questions and your hottest takes. Until then, get ready for some fun and games. Just be sure to keep your name out of the Goblet of Fire. See you next time.
Later, guys.
Everything is a conspiracy theory.
I protest.
Harry.
I protest.
Harry, did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
No, sir.
You asked one of the oldest students to do it for you?
No, sir.
You're absolutely sure?
Yes, sir.
Harry Potter, the official film podcast, is produced by HBO Max in partnership with Pod People. This podcast is hosted by me, Rhianna Dhillon. Our head writer and lead producer is Angela Palladino, and our associate producer is Emily Mansfield. Our line producer and production manager is Hannah Pedersen, casting by Brianna Frapart. Production design done by Liz Klakowski and her team Kevin Fallon, Marcel Banks, Jeff Cross, and Emilia Caceres. Our technical director is In-Sung Huang, along with camera operator Nick Gregorio. Hair and makeup by Ali Elizabeth. Production assistance by Sam Sanders IV. Our video editor is Susanna Vasquez, and the show is mixed by Carter Wogan and Marina Pais. From the HBO Max podcast team, Alison Cohen-Sorokach, Michael Gluckstadt, Becky Rowe, Kenya Reyes, and Erin Kelly. Special thanks to Emily Brandon and Reese Allgood from the Harry Potter digital team. Thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.